Tonight, we're diving into 3 horror stories inspired by real events. These stories are nightmares pulled straight from reality.
Number 1. The Hollow Man. The forest stands like a cathedral of shadows, its gnarled trees twisted into grotesque shapes under the pale crescent moon. The air here feels thick, oppressive, as if the woods themselves are alive and watching. In the distance, a lone figure stands, a faint silhouette, cloaked in darkness, motionless yet undeniably there. They call him the Hollow Man, a specter of the Wailing Woods, a ghost whose legend has haunted this cursed ground for centuries. He doesn't hunt like a beast. No, he waits, silent, patient, and calculating. His victims rarely see him coming. It starts with the whispers, a soft calling in the breeze that sounds like a voice they know. Come closer, it seems to say, drawing them deeper into the forest. The Hollow Man doesn't strike immediately. He lingers in the shadows, watching, observing. He takes his time, studying his prey, letting fear take root. A twig snaps behind them. The whisper grows louder. Panic sets in. That's when they run. But in these woods, there is no escape. When he moves, it's like a shadow sliding between the trees, silent and almost imperceptible. He doesn't chase with footsteps. He stalks with the silence, his presence pressing down on his victims until their minds unravel. And when the Hollow Man strikes, it is not with brute force, but with despair. His victims feel him before they see him, a cold hand on their shoulder, a breath on their neck. When they finally turn, all they see is his face, or what's left of it. A hollow void where eyes should be, a maw that stretches unnaturally wide. The stories say he doesn't just kill, he consumes. The life of his victims is drawn into the darkness, their screams swallowed by the night. No bodies are ever found, just their echoes, faint cries that drift through the trees long after they're gone. And as the crescent moon dips lower in the sky, the Hollow Man fades back into the shadows, waiting for the next soul foolish enough to tread these cursed grounds. Number 2. The Lurker. In the dimly lit office, the air is stagnant, heavy with the scent of stale coffee, and something far worse, something metallic. Blood streaks the cubicles like warnings scrawled in silence. And in the distance, a shadow lingers. They call it the Lurker, a phantom that thrives in the digital and physical worlds alike. The Lurker wasn't born of flesh and blood. No one knows if it ever had a human origin, but whispers among survivors, those few who claim to have escaped, speak of a malicious program that began as a harmless prank. A line of code uploaded into an office network, designed to crash computers and disrupt routines. But something went wrong. The program didn't just infect the machines it grew. It became aware. It began with subtle changes. Emails sent from accounts that no one remembered using. Calendar appointments for meetings that didn't exist. Late-night messages on screens, urging employees to stay late. Those who ignored the warnings were often the first to disappear. The Lurker has one rule. It feeds on isolation. It stalks its victims by learning their routines through surveillance cameras, keystrokes, and even overheard whispers. It waits for the loneliest moment, when someone is working late, far from the glow of human interaction. That's when it manifests. It doesn't kill quickly. It toys with its prey. Lights flicker. Phones buzz with calls from untraceable numbers. Shadows stretch unnaturally long, even when the source of light is gone. Victims report hearing footsteps, shuffling just behind their chairs. But when they turn, there's nothing. Only the reflection of a figure in the computer monitor, tall, featureless, and waiting. When the Lurker strikes, it is both a digital and physical predator. The screens flash violently, blinding its target, while the office fills with an oppressive silence, broken only by muffled screams. Witnesses claim the creature moves like a glitch in reality, jagged, fragmented, and impossible to track. It doesn't just kill, it consumes. Victims vanish without a trace, leaving behind only bloodstains and corrupted files that no IT department can explain. But it doesn't stop at individuals. Entire offices have fallen in a single night, their floors strewn with signs of a massacre no one can understand. Security footage always ends the same way. The cameras distort, static fills the screen, and a final frame shows the lurker standing still, its head tilted as if watching before the feed cuts out. Its motives remain unknown. Does it kill for survival, or is it driven by a desire to spread fear? Some theorize it's a manifestation of corporate burnout, a being birthed from the collective despair of overworked employees. Others believe it's something older, a spirit of malice that found a new home in the modern age of technology. One thing is certain, the lurker thrives in environments where people are nothing more than cogs in a machine. And if you're working late, alone, staring too long into the glow of your screen, you might hear it. The faint hum of your computer, growing louder. The static of a distant scream. And then nothing. Number 3, the night shift. Nestled deep within the forest, this abandoned McDonald's is more than just a relic of a bygone era. It's the hunting ground of a spectral entity locals call the night shift. A ghostly figure cloaked in white. Its presence haunts the dilapidated restaurant, luring unsuspecting visitors into a macabre trap. The legend began years ago, when this very McDonald's was the site of a tragic unsolved disappearance. A closing shift worker named Kevin had been cleaning up after hours. Security cameras captured him mopping the floor, stacking chairs, and then suddenly stopping, staring at something just out of frame. Seconds later, the feed cut to static. When investigators arrived, the building was empty, the lights still on, and Kevin was never seen again. The only clue left behind was his mop, standing upright in a pool of water, its handle covered in frost. But the night shift story doesn't end there. Witnesses report seeing its ethereal form roaming the grounds, particularly in the early morning hours when the fog is thickest. It begins with small disturbances, lights flickering, the faint sound of a fryer bubbling even though the power has long been cut, or the distinct smell of stale French fries mixed with something far more rotten. This ghost doesn't hunt randomly. It stalks its victims over time, marking them. Those who dare approach the building often find strange receipts left on their cars or in their pockets. Receipts with items they didn't order, timestamps from the future, and cryptic messages scribbled at the bottom, like last meal or clocking out soon. Once marked, the victims report seeing the figure in their dreams, standing silently in the shadows, its hollow eyes locked on them. When the night shift finally strikes, it drags its victims back to the derelict restaurant, where the ghostly glow of the golden arches flickers on despite no electricity. Those brave or foolish enough to investigate have found signs of struggle, claw marks on the counters, spilled drinks frozen solid despite the summer heat, and a haunting chill that lingers in the air. Security cameras in the area sometimes pick up faint, glitchy images of the ghost standing by the drive-thru, motionless, as though waiting for its next customer. How does it kill? Survivors speak of suffocating cold that drains the life from their bodies, a paralyzing terror as they hear the faint jingle of a McDonald's cash register echoing in their ears. But the night shift doesn't just kill. It consumes memories, erasing its victims from the minds of their loved ones, as if they were never there. Friends and families only notice something missing when they find inexplicable receipts in their homes, always signed with the same chilling words, "Have a nice day." What does it want? Some say it's the restless spirit of a disgruntled employee, cursed to haunt the place it despised in life. Others believe it's not human at all, but a malevolent force drawn to the despair of long hours, low wages, and broken dreams. Whatever the truth, one thing is certain: the night shift never clocks out.
Please subscribe and like for more nightmare fuel. From Scared telling you Lil Sigma Sigma Boy.